right, and we are live. Hey there, Morgan. I am the Soul. Here today to talk to you about a super interesting topic. So let's dive right in. The symbols that we use are visual esoteric teachings with inherent energetic and informational content embedded within them. This is one such symbol. I call it I am the Soul. You might think of it as a key to understanding some pretty deep spiritual teachings, which I'm about to share in this first video, which is going to be the first of several to come in this vein. Now, first, you should understand that rings are incredibly important as a concept. One application of rings is to represent basically any coherent and complete system of energetic expression while highlighting patterns and relationships that exist between the different energies based on their position on the ring. From the Enneagram to the Zodiac, suffice it to say that super cool is a good way to describe circles. Um, let's just say rings are super cool, put it that way. Now, what's going to follow is quite a lot of what I would basically call using circles to do conceptual origami. And as you can see here, the geometry of the torus and the hyperboloid is what's represented here. Um, and, something I really want to kind of highlight here is that these two are really key concepts that come together, that they're central to this teaching. And first off, many thanks to Ken Wheeler for his extensive talks on this. Look up Theoria Apophasis on YouTube to get more information on specifics here. But basically, the key thing to understand here is that from the electromagnetic field created by the heart to the Celtic tree of life symbol, this is a geometry that we find everywhere in the universe and at all scales, from atoms to galaxies. Now, note that the hyperboloid is the negative image of the torus. So a lot of people understand that a torus is a two-dimensional structure, but the hyperboloid is too. So that means that we've got two-dimensional structures that are perfectly balanced, such that one holographically creates the other in the negative space of itself. In the Bible, in Genesis, Genesis 1, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, and that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. Later, God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. This next division is one where I really lean on the work of Rudolf Steiner, because I think his framing of harmonic and luciferic impulses is just frankly dead on. Overall, I see this realm as fundamentally comprised of two main material impulses, or at least impulses that are present in the material external realm, the false light and the darkness. The yin yang is one representation of this cycle that both winds the cosmic clock and it also plays out in our every moment. It should be clear to most anybody at this point that we live in a realm of duality, a place where we're constantly encouraged to pick red or blue, right or left. Why is that? Why does it seem like every time that we pick the better of the two paths, it's still wrong? Why are both candidates always fundamentally evil? This is why. There is no correct, extreme position in this place other than love or the light of heaven. From the Christian tradition, another way to put this is that it's in the center point of balance where Christ resides. Ahriman is the darkness. It's the positive electric element that fuels the will to dominate others. I also note that the imperfect anagram of Ahriman is I harm man. It fits well thematically with basically the concept of the empire. Lucifer, by contrast, is the false light, the will to be God, to self-deify. Also, and as a total random aside, there is an actual devil horse with glowing red eyes named Lucifer, of all things, at the Denver International Airport. While it was being made, it fell on, crushed, and killed the artist that it was its creator. So, yeah, that's the thing that happened. Here is another way to represent the same thing. Now, I can't help but see this when I look at it. William Blake's Ancient of Days from 1794, as he imparts the first spin to the universe. At the third step, we find ourselves contemplating the gateless gate, portals, and transcendence. It's also the point at which we have our three main planetary symbols. And it's from these three that all other planetary symbols can be generated. We'll cover this in a future video. Once we reach 4 divisions, we find ourselves speaking in terms of seasons, suits, and elements. Finally, pulling it all together from an alchemy perspective, we see how symbols follow a logical progression, culminating in the base elements that make up our world, at least in a metaphysical sense. While there are multiple schemas for how all this fits together in at the highest levels, there are some differences. In each, we nonetheless find a conceptual development of finer divisions of the one. So cutting a circle into finer and finer slices. And this leads us to a major teaching. But before we get there, please do take a moment to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content, and I'll be sure to give you more videos like this one. Now, while I am certainly not unique in this, it's my position that God, the one, the source, the all, the one who generates, operates, and destroys all things, G-O-D, generates, operates, and destroys, separated himself from himself time and again to experience his creation through divided eyes. One more time. God separated himself from himself time and again to experience his creation through divided eyes, using him in the generic sense here. And I am is both the name of God and the greatest creative power of God within man. Study Neville Goddard for some really excellent I Am lectures on this topic. In the book of Exodus, Moses said unto God, Behold, when I come to the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, The God of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is his name? What shall I say unto them? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent me unto you. Jesus also made a number of declarative I am statements in the New Testament, including, I am the bread of life, I am the light of the world, I am the door of the sheep, I am the good shepherd, I am the resurrection and the life, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the true vine. Another name for God is spelled with the letters Yod, He, Vav, He, and that would be pronounced Yahweh. Yahweh, or the sound of the animating breath of life, the sound of the grand cosmic inhale and exhale, reverberating through all time. It's also the first and the last sounds that each of us make in life, that inhale and that exhale. Thanks to Ken Wheeler for that one, too. Coming to a close, the symbols that we use are visual esoteric teachings with inherent, energetic, and informational content embedded within their forms. This is one such symbol, which I call I am the soul. And now you know why.